Now broadcasting live from the studios of ESPN Radio Winchester, it's time for the Afternoon Handoff. Hosted by the voice of Franklin County, Johnny Hand. Local stories, real conversations, Southern Middle Tennessee sports, straight from the source. This is the Afternoon Handoff.
And welcome. It is Friday. Johnny Hand in studio. It is the Afternoon Handoff. ESPN Radio 1340 106.9 WCDT Winchester. Head over to the ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page, and we want to say thank you for joining us. A big shout out to our friends over at Hall Furniture Superstore. They are the sponsors of the live stream of the Afternoon Handoff every weekday right here on ESPN Radio, Monday through Friday, 2 to 4. And going to have a special guest in studio with me here in just a little bit. I've got the VFW Post 1893 commander, Barry Fraley, will be joining me. He's been at some veteran-related meetings here in the last little bit, including, I think, even today. And so Barry's going to be stopping by here at some point during the show. Look forward to talking with him, as always. He was on the show with me a few weeks ago, and a very interesting guy. So look forward to talking with him. It is Friday, so I want to make sure that I say a big thank you to the guests that have made this a fun week so far. I had John Michael Peck on with me Monday, talking Center Grove Baptist Church, talking Peck Realty Group. He's the principal broker with those folks over there. Jenna Hand was on talking track. I had Matt Kreidenweiss on with me Wednesday, talking about the NNK Foundation and their fundraiser that's going to be taking place tomorrow night. So tonight, it's Friday. Whew, been that kind of week. Tonight at the Country Club, at the Franklin County Country Club, starts at 6 o'clock. They've got some amazing silent auction items, and they've got door prizes, all kinds of great stuff going on. There's some great food, and so make sure you stop by there. That's from 6 to 9 tonight at the Country Club. And then yesterday, had a lot of fun. Had a big group come in and hang out with me from Swanee Elementary School. A big thank you to the principal, Miss Allison up there, Miss Bruce, the librarian, Miss Hasty, the counselor up there, the advocate. And the four kids sat in with me. They were so adorable. They were a lot of fun. Enjoyed talking with them, and we'll talk more about them here in the next couple of weeks to come. Because on Friday, May the 8th, at 6 o'clock, Swanee Elementary School is having a very special program where they are going to celebrate their 100-year birthday. So it's a lot exciting. It was fun talking with the group yesterday from Swanee Elementary School, getting some history about Swanee Elementary School. A lot, not all of it. I knew some stuff, but a lot of it were things that I had absolutely no idea about. So a big thank you to them coming in. And of course, again, Barry Fraley. Look forward to talking with Barry here in just a little bit. Great guy, great advocate for veterans. He is a veteran himself, retired. I am a veteran. Always enjoy talking with him. And real quick program note. Next week is spring break for Franklin County, but it's not going to really impact the morning show or my show much next week. There's only one real change. The starting lineup, Joe Abraham, Chewy, will be in studio Monday through Friday next week, 7 to 9, as always. You don't have school, so it's going to be even easier for you to turn that AM dial over to 1340, the FM dial over to 106.9, or as we're you guys, I'm finally getting it broke into you. Download that WCDT app, and you can listen to us all the time wherever you are. And so we encourage you to do that. But Joe and Chewy will be on air Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. The Afternoon Handoff is going to be on air Monday through Friday next week, 2 to 4. I will be here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, Joe Abraham's going to be sitting in for me, so you're going to want to do that. I'm sure if Joe's sitting in with me Wednesday, that means he's going to make Chewy sit in as well. takes two of them to do this incredible poor job that I do. But tune in them. I am going to be playing hooky. Very excited. My girls are actually on spring break. They're visiting a couple of colleges next week. And Wednesday, they're going to be visiting their mom's alma mater, Tennessee Tech, up in Cookeville. And so they've invited me to tag along, and Joe was gracious enough to let me have that time to go hang out with them and visit some old friends that we have that still live up there, and let Mom show them around the college campus. So do tune in next week as usual, business as usual. Going to be a great time. Monday, I actually am excited. I'm going to have the Argo twins are going to be on the show with me on Monday. Going to be talking about, they just had their signing this week. They're twins. I'm a twin dad. Love that. They have signed. They had their signing. They're going to be playing football and going to a very big a big engineering school. They're both very, very smart, and they're going to the same school. It's we're going to talk about that. It's a school that most of us have never heard of, but they have a great football program. They have an excellent engineering program. So very excited to talk with those guys, and so we encourage you to tune in on Tuesday, or Monday. Look, I'm getting way ahead of myself. But as always, before Barry Fraley shows up and we start talking about some veteran events here shortly, I want to make sure that, as always, we make you aware of all the sports activities that are going on. And I see the rain's trying to come in and mess with some stuff. We do have a few things on the schedule today, so we'll see how that plays. As far as I am aware, there have not been any cancellations as of yet. Andrew Woodcock says hello. Hello, Andrew. Love you, neighbor. But on the schedule for this week, Franklin County Middle School baseball is heading up to Grundy today. The varsity will have their first pitch at 5 o'clock, and then they'll have the JV will be playing afterwards. Huntley High School softball is heading over to Tullahoma. Their first pitch tonight is at 5:30. That'll be a big game. Tullahoma got beat last night, and that put Franklin County girls varsity softball into first place. And so we root for the Lady Hornets anyway, but we're really rooting for those Lady Hornets to head over to Tullahoma today and put another L on those Lady Cats. Middle school track meet that was scheduled for tonight in Riverdale, that has been canceled. So I can share that. North and South were scheduled for that meeting. That has been canceled. The Franklin County High School Baseball Viking Classic at home. Franklin County is not playing today, but I talked with Coach Crosland earlier, got a message from him. Franklin County varsity baseball is playing 2 games tomorrow. So they're playing an 11 o'clock game, and all these games are here at home, so they're over there in that gorgeous Gamble Park. But the Franklin County High School varsity Rebels are playing at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for the first pitch, and then they have a second game tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. And so you've got 2 opportunities to see them play tomorrow. Also tomorrow and Saturday, the Huntley High School baseball JV is having a play day over in Cornersville. And then we've been talking about it. Jenna was on with me Tuesday and trying to get you all pumped up and excited about it because it's going to be a great time. Tomorrow, the Franklin County High School varsity track is having their first home meet of the season. They've had 2 track meets already this year. This is the first meet that they've had at home. It's going to be a great time. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. The field events, if you've not been to a track meet, and it's really funny, the first time that you go, folks are not aware of what a commitment a track meet is. It is a lot of hours, but in all fairness, it's a lot of fun too. But the Franklin County High School is going to be the biggest track meet that Franklin County has ever held, which sounds really dramatic. And then I remember we've only had the track for 4 years. Can you believe that high school is 25 years old now? That doesn't seem possible either. But the track just kind of sprang up out of nowhere, had some COVID money appeared from the heavens, and we built a track over there. And if you've not seen it, it is a beautiful beautiful facility. But the track meet will start at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock is the field events portion. So that's the discus, the shot put, high jump, long jump, triple jump, pole vault. That's right. You can see with your own two eyes, live and in person, pole vaulting in Franklin County tomorrow. So that all starts at 10 o'clock. About 11 o'clock, they'll have the 3,200. That is 8 laps around the track. And then about 11:30 or so, they'll have the 4x800. That's 4 people on a team, each running 2 laps. So they do those longer distance ones while they're finishing up the field events. And then around noon, we'll start the running events. So that's when you're going to see your hurdlers, and you're going to see your sprinters, and you're going to see your other relay teams, and your distance runners. That's when you'll see the mile and the half mile, and so it is a commitment. Not going to lie to you, but hey, $5, cheapest ticket in town. And think about that. You're going to pay the least amount for a ticket of any sporting event at Franklin County High School, and you're paying the least amount of money for a ticket to the event that lasts longer than any event at Franklin County High School. That's a bargain. And so we encourage you to come out. We do have, there's a gentleman coming tomorrow that owns a food truck. I think he's actually going to set up in our concession stand, but he does have a food truck. So there's going to be barbecue. There's going to be hamburgers, hot dogs, cold drinks, chips, all the general snacks. But those are going to be available. Proceeds from that will benefit the Franklin County High School track team. The track has, with that concession stand, we have full restrooms, boys and girls. And if you've not been over there are some bleachers up on the bank. And then that bank, the grassy bank, a lot of folks like to come out there, and they sit on a blanket, sit on some lawn chairs, and it's just a great time. It is a long time, but it is a great time. And so we invite you to come out. The weather tomorrow is supposed to be really, really nice, and nice is a relative term. By that I mean it's not going to be hot. It's going to be about 60, low 60s tomorrow, but sunny. No rain in the forecast. So it's actually a perfect weather for a track meet. So come on out. It's going to be a little chilly in the morning when we get started. The sun will come out, and then you'll be in some short sleeves and enjoying some great competition. We talked about it when Jenna was on the program Tuesday. One of the things that's really fun with track is you are right up on the action. So when your kid, when your grandkid, when your neighbor, when your friend is running or doing their events, you just walk down and lean right up against the fence. You could actually, as the sprinters come by, depending on what lane they're in, you could literally touch them. That is not allowed. That is not a suggestion. That is not a recommendation. In fact, please do not touch the athletes. But we'll have a concession stand, so do feed them if you want to. But anyway, that is tomorrow, and over at Franklin County High School. And so you got a few opportunities. The Franklin County High School Rebel baseball team, again, they're playing at 11 o'clock tomorrow in the morning. They're playing at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon over at Gamble Park in the Viking Classic. So you can get out and check out some baseball or come out and check out some track. But either way, come check out something. And again, we want to say that we wish those well. I know it is spring break next week. That's a big travel week for a lot of folks. And so if you are traveling, we pray for your safety. And I can speak from experience when I tell you this. Download that WCDT app. And if you're at the beach, or if you're getting ready to go into the amusement park, or as you walk around the amusement park, you can listen to us on that app. I did this in January. I was in the hotel room. We were waiting to get on a boat the next day, and Joe Abraham was on the call for a big girls and boys basketball game. And so my wife and the girls and I were sitting in the hotel room, eating a little DoorDash, and we were listening to Joe Abraham on the call. And so we encourage you to do that. All the regular programming is on that WCDT app. The the big benefit, and you can watch live on the live stream on Facebook too. The starting lineup 7 to 9 every morning has the Loco starting lineup. They do the live stream. Hall Furniture sponsors the live stream here. You can watch during those hours, or like I said, if you're out and about, even if you're just at the beach, turn us on, listen in, and we'll be here. A little jealous of wherever it is you may be, but I can tell you by experience, that app is absolutely amazing when you're on vacation. So we encourage you, before you head out of town, make sure that you do download that WCDT app if you have not. And we learned last night, it was so funny. I had a lady that teaches over at South with my wife, and Joe Abraham and I, as a lot of you heard, and thank you for this. We've gotten a lot of great comments and compliments and thank yous for coming out and broadcasting the Revelette softball game last night. We had a great time. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. But this particular mom, she texted me to ask if there was a way that she could listen to the game. And so, of course, Joe Abraham would have been proud. I said, you got to download the WCDT app. That's how I listen in the morning when I'm getting ready. The WCDT app is honestly, it's probably the clearest and sharpest audio signal. I mean, you can hear really, really well wherever you are. If you've got a phone signal, you're going to get a great listening experience. But anyway, I told her to download that app and she could listen during the game. And so, trying to suck up to Joe Abraham during the broadcast last night, and I shouted out. I said, Miss Brittany, your daughter's playing well tonight, and thanks for listening. And she said, I'm in right field. And but then it dawned on me, she texted me, so she was at the game, but listening to the broadcast on the app while at the game. Now that is awesome. That is flattering, but it was a lot of fun. But again, just I tell you that just as an example of how well that works. It's worked for me personally. I know it's worked well for others, and so we encourage you. If you, I do it in the car. I listen, even though, and I may not should say this, but even though I'm in the car and I have the radio and I'm driving into the studio in the mornings. I still listen through the WCDT app on my way into work every morning. So it's a great app. Go ahead and get that downloaded. And like I said, we'll look for, and that'll be, I need to get with Joe. That's going to be one of our poll questions next week. I want to know where everybody's going, because I'm a little jealous. Last year on spring break, I got on a boat, ate a bunch of ice cream, saw some pretty cool places. And this year I am going to Cookeville. I think they have ice cream in Cookeville, but they don't have it where I can just walk up and get as many ice cream cones as I want. I may talk to Tennessee Tech about that. If they want, I've got twins. If they want both of my girls that badly, maybe we can talk them into installing an ice cream bar for student parents. I'll let you know. Stay tuned. Tune in with me on Thursday. We're visiting on Wednesday, and I'll let you know how that argument turned out. Don't have high hopes for the success of that, but very, very much excited about the girls getting an opportunity to make a couple college visits, their first college visits next week. That's making this upcoming senior year way too real. And along those lines, I want to make sure that I say it's going to be taking place here in about an hour. After school gets out, the Franklin County High School varsity cheer squad will be having their tryouts. And on Wednesday and Thursday night, they learn the dance. They learn some cheers, and they learn some group routines and those kind of things. And the girls have had a great time with that. This is their fourth and final tryout as seniors, so a little bittersweet. They're excited at their senior year that's coming, but again, just want to make sure that I say good luck to all the ladies. I believe you would think that their mom being a school teacher and their dad having a banker background, that they'd be better at math. One of them said they had 29 trying out today. One of them said 28. And the truth is either one of those numbers is pretty impressive. But so that's a lot of young ladies that are putting themselves out there today, and I just want to say good luck and have some fun with it. It's been a wonderful thing for my daughters. It's something that they'll never forget, and so I want to say a special shout out, and I probably shouldn't do this, but Kaylin and Gracie, Jada, Jenna, and Skylar, that's the 5 junior members of the squad this year. All 5 are trying out again today to be seniors, and that's pretty special. So, ladies, it's been a lot of fun watching each of you grow into that leadership role that's coming. All 5 of them are absolutely excited to step into that role as seniors. They got to be a little bit more involved with the tryout part of this thing, the Wednesday and Thursday thing. They got to lead the other groups and show them the dance and show them the cheer and talk to them, encourage them as they get ready to try out and all those things. And just I'm so proud of all 5 of them, and looking forward to see how they lead that squad next year. But I tell you, if you have a girl trying out today and they wind up on this squad, they're going to be in good hands, because that is 5 truly amazing young ladies, and they're going to do really, really well. That your daughters would do well to look up to any one of them. Getting an opportunity to look up to all of them at the same time, that is absolutely a blessing. So very proud of them. Bragging on my 2, but I'm bragging on all 5 of them because they are absolutely fantastic. So got that. Wanted to make sure I told my girls I was going to share that with you today. It is cheer tryouts. Good luck to all of the ladies that are trying out after school today. They'll probably find out later this evening. Could be early tomorrow morning. But, hey, make it or don't make it, you're winners because you tried, and that's a lot tougher than a lot of people think it is. So congratulations to all of you. Proud of all of you. I'm not sure how many she's keeping. I'm just a football announcer. I don't have anything to do with cheer other than writing a check for cheer camp once a year. So congratulations to all those ladies. Good luck to you. I look forward to seeing who winds up on the squad, and look forward to watching you cheer next season. So don't go anywhere. Again, Barry Fraley is going to be in studio with me here in just a little bit, and we're going to be talking about some veterans events and some other things, and look forward to talking with them. Look forward to having you back with me right after this commercial break. You are tuned in. It is the Afternoon Handoff here on ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
Spring is a season of renewal, and at High Point Health System, with Ascension St. Thomas, your health is always in season. From routine checkups to advanced care, their dedicated team is here to help you feel your best today and every day. Compassionate care backed by the strength of Ascension St. Thomas. This spring, take a moment for your health. Learn more or find a provider at highpointhealthsystem.com. High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. Caring for you for every season of life.
Weekends are great. No alarm clock, no schedule, just time to relax. But let's be honest, weekends would be even better if you had the starting lineup. See, without us, your Saturday and Sunday mornings probably feel a little bit empty, maybe even a little bit boring. But don't worry, Monday's coming, and that means Chewy and I are back with the sports, laughs, and attitude you need to start the week. Weekends are fine, but the starting lineup makes Monday worth it. On ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
Where you bank matters. Citizens Tri-County Bank has been serving southern Middle Tennesseans since 1972. And while we offer all the same services as the big guys, Citizens is a community bank, meaning our decisions, big and small, are made here locally with our community in mind. So whether you need a loan for that startup or to refi, we take pride in being the only community bank you'll ever need. Citizens Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware, LLC, located on 1991 Chart Springs Road in Winchester, is the place to go for all your electrical, hardware, and outdoor needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Do you know what you're looking for and want to know if the store has it? You can contact them at 931-967-7351 to get in touch with someone that can help. That's over on Chart Springs Road in Winchester at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware, LLC.
Game on, Winchester. Good Game Arcade on the Square is your go-to spot for non-stop fun. Play on custom arcade machines packed with all of the classics and latest hits. Challenge your friends on modern consoles or dive into epic board games. Need a power-up? Grab some delicious food and an ice-cold beer while you play. Whether you're an old-school Pixel Pro or a next-gen champ, Good Game Arcade is where the fun never ends. Press start and begin your adventure today at Good Game Arcade.
Franklin County's home for the Atlanta Braves. This is ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester. From the sidelines to the square, this is the Afternoon Handoff with Johnny Hand.
And welcome back. It is the Friday edition, the Afternoon Handoff. Johnny Hand in studio. Barry Fraley, Post Commander, VFW Post 1893, will be in here in just a little bit. Looks like he's going to be joining me in the second hour, so I want to appreciate you hanging out with us, talking with me as we prepare to talk a little bit more with Barry Fraley. And again, head on over to that ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page and check us out. ESPN Facebook page has the Hall Furniture Superstore live stream every Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 when we're on air. And it's a great way for you to watch. It's a great way for you to listen. And even better, it's a great way for you to engage. And so thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Andrew Woodcock has said hello a few times. Andrew, my neighbor, love you, my friend. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. And I got to say, it's been a lot of fun. If you missed the starting lineup this morning, you missed a great show. And one of the best parts of the show, in my opinion, and this is my humble opinion, Joe Abraham might disagree with me, but it was it was a lot of fun to see the reveal of the picture. We have a wrestling dad, and most of you know who he is. I'm not going to say his name. Or softball dad. We like to call him just softball dad. But Jonathan, great sport, has had a lot of fun. As you have heard over the last couple of weeks, he has really gotten into he is living absolutely rent-free in the penthouse in Joe Abraham's head. But got an opportunity to take a picture of them together yesterday. Last night we were there. Joe Abraham and I did the broadcast of the Franklin County High School Revelette softball game. Got a picture of Joe and the softball dad standing together. It was interesting. I think I took the picture, so I am qualified to tell you that both of them inhaled very deeply. Neither of them exhaled until they heard the click of the picture being taken. But then, and you'll see, and I encourage you, head over to the ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page. You'll see the video from this morning. You'll see the picture that we're referring to. You'll see the aftermath. The YouTube short today captures that aftermath really well. But I gotta say, Joe Abraham, and here's the thing: he had a really good night last night. On the softball game was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We got to see a big Revelette softball victory. We while we were broadcasting, we found out that Tullahoma lost, and that meant that we were now in first place, and so our Franklin County Revelette softball team is in first place. And so we found that out. Had a great win. Got to see a grand slam. Got to see a big win. So it was a lot of fun. And then Joe moved up about 19 spots in the ESPN Radio Winchester March Madness Bracket Challenge. So he was a lot easier to get along with. But I got to give him credit. He's been a great sport. And he's been a great sport, especially with these pictures. We had way too much fun with the picture. Blame Chewy. Chewy was the one. And here's the thing. I took the picture, sent it to the squad, sent it to Katie and Joe and Daniel and Chewy. It was not 5 minutes before Chewy had responded with his very special edit. It was hilarious. We had a great time with that over at the ball field. But we got to say, I want to say thank you. My goodness, we came over and Joe and I did the broadcast. It was our first softball broadcast. And when I say our first softball broadcast, I mean for me personally, for Joe Abraham personally, and most certainly for ESPN Radio Winchester. But we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. It was different. But it was we got to see a good game, and that helps. Delana Marshall pitched really well. We saw, like I said, we saw the Grand Slam. We saw it was a fun game. And Miss Hardison went very, very deep. They're a fun team to watch, and I think if you just listened, which it was kind of cool because apparently it was video streamed through another. They kind of patched us in, and we did the play-by-play over a video stream through through somebody else. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. But I want to say thank you because, gosh, while we were there, the softball community was so nice to us. They were constantly telling us how much that they appreciated us being there. But the truth is we were excited to go. We were there. We went and watched the game last week when we didn't broadcast. We went just to watch. And you should. It's a pretty special team. It's a unique team. They only have 2 seniors, and so they're very, very young. And last night they only had 1. Caitlin Montgomery was the only senior that played last night. Molly Casey, the other senior, was gone. I think she was at Washington, D.C. She was doing some fancy 4-H event, and good for her. But Caitlin led the way as a senior, but it's pretty cool because the team is so young. Softball dad's daughter leading off had a great night. A special athlete. You get into that 3 and 4, the 3 and 4 hole. You've got, think about this. And if you're a sports fan, you know that this is big. Your number 3, your number 4 batter, freshman. Hardison and Carter. Last night, Hardison hits a grand slam. Last week we went, Carter hit 2 home runs in the same game. And so they are young. They played some really good defense in the field. A lot of the ladies hit the ball really, really well last night. And so it was funny. I got home. I had 3 different people text message or Facebook message me that thanked us for coming. And I'm thinking, and I told my wife, I said, man, we should be thanking them. It was a lot of fun. And so we plan to get out and do another one. We still have a baseball game to do as well. We're working out the details on that. We were going to do a baseball game, I think it was last week, and we were going to do it twice, and both times got rained out. So it's kind of weird. The softball team thinks that Joe Abraham and I are good luck. The baseball team probably thinks the opposite because we've been rained out both times that we were planning to come over there. But we are going to get a baseball game in. I went and watched those guys play. Gosh, I guess it was Monday night. And this is where I'm going with this. And I want you to really think about this. We went to the softball game last week. We didn't broadcast. We went to watch. Baseball game Monday, I went to watch. Eric, their regular announcer, his son plays on the middle school team. They had a game, and so I just went upstairs to say hello and wound up announcing a baseball game. So, it was fun. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. But my point is that we're going to watch, and so every morning and every afternoon we share the schedule with you, and we ask you and we encourage you to come out and support these athletes and these different things. And we do that. And I think it would be hypocritical to sit in the studio and point out all the games you're not going to see. You should be there. You're not showing enough support if we're not there. But the truth is we're there. Joe Abraham, Katie Abraham, they were over in Tullahoma Tuesday night. They went. There was a middle school track meet. They drove over to Tullahoma to take pictures. If you go to that, and here's the plug, 931-GO, Katie does a great job of she goes to these events. She takes some amazing pictures. And that would be special enough. But then she posts them on 931-GO. 931-GO is free. Absolutely free. So she shares her talent, and she's getting better and better. I mean, gosh, she takes more and more pictures, and I mean, she really captures some special moments. But then I admire and respect her a great deal because she edits. She puts a lot of time into making sure that they're edited right, and then she posts them on 931-GO and says, "Here you go, enjoy. Here's your kid." And I know that's a fact. She did the track meet on Tuesday. I got a special picture of my wife and my daughter measuring a long jump. Jenna's in high school. She wasn't jumping. My wife's the assistant coach. They're just measuring, and there's Katie. She takes pictures of. It's amazing the things that catch her eye, and the things that are interesting to her. But what's amazing about that is because she knows exactly what it is that you're wanting to see, and she does a great job of including everybody. There aren't a whole lot of pictures floating around out there in the internet web atmosphere of a South Middle School shot putter or discus thrower. But if you find them, odds are pretty dang good that Katie took them. So shout out to her. And again, shameless plug, head over to that ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page. It'll give you a link to the 931-GO, but you can also just type in 931go.com. It's got great news. Joe Abraham, we were on the call yesterday. He's watching college basketball at home and typing up a detailed and in-depth recounting of the game. And so you had an opportunity to listen to us do the game. If you couldn't make it, you had an opportunity to read the article, and he covered all the bases, so you knew exactly what happened. And so shout out to them. They don't I love making fun of him being short, and I love Chewy's little fun picture of him more than anything. But they deserve it. They deserve to be slapped on the back. Joe sometimes probably be pretty hard, but they deserve to be slapped on the back occasionally. And so I'm grateful, proud to be associated with the ESPN Radio Winchester because we show up. We tell you to show up. And here's the thing. If you go, odds are pretty good you're going to run into one of us. And to me, that's pretty special. That means a lot. So, but don't go anywhere. I've preached on long enough. Don't worry. I got to go to a commercial break before I pass the offering plate. But Barry Fraley's going to be in with me at the top of the hour. Going to be talking some veteran events and other things. You're not going to want to miss that. And thank you so much for tuning in. Stay right here. We are going to be right back. It is the Afternoon Handoff, ESPN Radio, 1340, 106.9, WCDT, Winchester.
Athletics teach more than wins and losses. Substance misuse can undermine performance, health, and long-term goals. That's why prevention matters in sports and in life. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition partners with schools, coaches, and families to promote healthy choices among student athletes. Because when teams support one another, we are stronger together. And when young leaders compete with clear minds and healthy bodies, they're truly stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. and that's Hall Furniture. Since 1949, Hall Furniture has been more than just a place to buy furniture. It's been part of the homes, the memories, and the milestones of this community. From living rooms filled with laughter, to dining tables where families gather, to bedrooms built for rest and comfort. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you. Hall Furniture. Here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Nothing celebrates victory like a good cigar. The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester, home of locally roasted Loco coffee that keeps Franklin County fueled every morning. And win or lose, Loco is the place to relax with premium cigars, craft beer, and natural products that help with sleep and stress. Start your mornings with us and a cup of Loco coffee, and you can celebrate those wins later with a victory cigar. Loco in Winchester, fueling Franklin County mornings.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Winchester celebrated its musical heritage Thursday with the unveiling of a Tennessee Music Pathways marker honoring entertainment legend Dinah Shore. The ceremony took place at noon on the Winchester Square and featured remarks from Mayor Sean Crabtree, Ashley DeRousette of the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development, and Alex Heim, Dinah Shore's grandson. Community members gathered to recognize Shore's legacy as one of the most influential entertainers of her era. Born Frances Fanny Shore in Winchester, she rose to national fame as a pop singer and television pioneer. Mayor Crabtree reflected on the moment, saying markers like this remind residents that history is found in the people and places that define a hometown. The Tennessee Music Pathways program, launched in 2018, connects visitors to significant landmarks across all 95 counties and highlights the state's diverse musical heritage. On the field, the Franklin County Rebelettes delivered a statement win Thursday night, powering past Giles County 14-7 at home. After briefly falling behind in the second inning, following a defensive miscue, the Rebelettes responded immediately. Freshman Leah Hardison delivered the turning point, a grand slam that flipped the game and gave Franklin County a lead it would not surrender. The offense was relentless, finishing with 17 hits. Hardison drove in 7 runs, while Addison Parton and Bella Smith each collected 3 hits. Caitlin Montgomery and Courtney Hallenbach-Wilhoit added multiple hits, showcasing the depth of a lineup that continues to mature. Delana Marshall provided a steady outing in the circle before Victoria Nelson came in on relief, striking out 3 to close the door. With the win, Franklin County improves to 8-9 overall and 3-1 in district play, moving into first place in the standings. For more local news and sports coverage, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
The official home of Franklin County Athletics. This is ESPN Radio 1340-1069, WCDT Winchester. You're listening to the Afternoon Handoff with Johnny Hand, voice of Franklin County, on ESPN Radio 1340-1069, WCDT Winchester.
And welcome back. It is Friday, the Afternoon Handoff. Johnny Hand in studio. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester. As promised, head over to that ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page. Check us out. The man, the myth, the legend, Post Commander Barry Fraley in studio with me. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm glad it's Friday.
Well, you told me what kind of week you were having.
It's like I said, sometimes a good week, you don't have to have bail money or bury anybody, so it's just been one of those weeks.
So I'm going to take this as confirmation that there's no bail money or nobody's this week.
Right, this week.
But now, we won't.
Just this week.
Not every week. Well, what's going on with you? I know you've had a lot going on this week.
Well, we've had the McMinnville VA clinics closing. I won't talk about that in a minute, but I'd like to talk about 2 or 3 things we got going on at the VFW and some of the other groups.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got an Easter egg hunt that we're going to do on the 4th of April.
So that's next Saturday.
Next Saturday. And actually, and I can send you the flyers when we get through, so you can post that.
Absolutely.
But we're going to have an Easter egg hunt for kids age 12 and below at 2 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. We got
2 o'clock.
Hundreds, thousands of eggs out there fixed up.
Right.
And we're also going to do, actually we're going to have 2 hunts. So we're going to have one at noon for special needs people and their caregivers. Awesome. So we're going to give them a couple hours, starting at noon to do their own
So theirs is at noon, and then the other egg hunt's at 2.
At 2.
Gotcha.
So that's something we're involved with a few people there, and the ARC's been out there, and we have dinners for them and their caregivers.
Awesome. Yeah,
so.
I had the privilege. I DJ'd the Night to Shine prom.
Oh yes.
This past Saturday over at the CP Church, and big thank you to Reverend Michael Clark. They gave the CP Church to us. I donate my DJ services when I can, but it's just it's a special night. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's good to have events.
Absolutely.
For that. So we're gonna have. So if you come out there, so the regular hunts at 2, but if you have special needs. People and their caregivers that need to come out, we're going to do that at noon, and then we'll end that one. And we're going to serve for the kids and everything. We're going to have hot dogs and chips and drinks, something for them to eat. And we got plenty of eggs ready. We've been stocking up on eggs for a few weeks. So we're excited about that. We tried to do a few more little community things, out there, and, where the kids like to come out and do things. So.
But I think, I'm pretty sure about this, the high school has a track meet tomorrow, but I think we're coming out to karaoke tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've got we've got usually karaoke 1 or 2 nights a week. And,
right.
We do Singo 1 or 2 nights a week. Of course, we got steak night tonight. And
what are we eating tomorrow night?
So tomorrow, well, if he's got steaks left, you can get one
tell
in.
him
But they got the regular menu going too.
I'm a veteran. What's the highlight of the regular menu?
Well, we've got all kinds of sub sandwiches, pizza.
Because I'm Air Force guy, so I got to eat good.
You got to have.
Can't have Army
Well,
stuff.
now, so you probably get the extra skewer of shrimp and stuff with your steak anyway.
Yeah,
so,
we can't have none of this sea ration stuff.
So no, we do get prime steaks, and it's pretty good.
Well, we are they're trying to get my daughters are old enough, so they're trying to get some practice in before this Lake Idle thing starts up. So
that's true.
So I know we haven't tried it yet, but we want to come out and eat, and we want to come out and sing. And so
we got DJ Sam and Mitch. We got we got an in-house DJ. He's pretty good. Matter of fact, he was my driver for a couple of years when I was S3 at Battalion S3. He was actually my driver.
Were you singing while he was driving you? Is that the reason he doesn't do karaoke?
I didn't even know he did that until I found out later on. He hid that from me.
Right.
But,
and Michael Clark weighed in. He said they were happy to have the kids over Saturday. So thanks for listening, Michael. We appreciate you. It was fun. But we are going to be over that way. What else? So that's next Saturday. That's tomorrow. That's next Saturday.
That's the 4th of April.
Right. That's awesome.
Then, you had the CVMA guys, Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. You had, I think, Newcomb and Z come in.
Newcomb is my
great guys, man. And they're going to have their poker run on the 18th.
Yeah.
So it starts at 9 o'clock, and we're going to have some kind of breakfast burritos or something if you show up.
That's what I hear.
So,
and actually, Joe and Chewy from the morning show are committed to being in this poker run.
Oh, okay.
They don't have. They're not cool enough to have motorcycles, and they're not cool enough to be called Newcomb or Z either.
Oh, yeah.
But so I'm not sure. But now Z said they could show up, and this is important for folks that are listening. You don't have to be on a motorcycle.
No,
you can come out in a Volkswagen Bug. You might snicker at us, but we're still welcome to come be a part of it.
And you can make the loop, and and they raise money to give. They do a lot of benevolent work, and that's really a neat group. It's a smaller group. It's that organization. 15 years ago when I first got in it, you had to be a VFW member to join that.
Right.
And then they sort of split off, but it's one of the, I hate to say it, but the American Legion and the VFW and the DAV, we're all older guys, and we're kind of on the decline.
Right.
The Vietnam veterans, as a group, there's only, less than 40% of them still alive, which because all the different exposures and
Right.
stuff, they've declined
Right.
faster than World War II and Korean vets.
Which we've run out of those. I know you and I, we run at each other a lot at these veteran events. And I know at the last Veterans Day event, we only had one World War II
Right.
gentleman, still left. And it was just a few years ago, we had like 8, and then there were
Right.
5. And,
there was another one passed this week, as a matter of
Really?
fact. He was 103
yeah,
years old.
103 years old. I saw that.
And that may have been the last one.
Right.
There may be one more here in the county in a assisted living or
Right.
in a home.
Wow.
But that generation's pretty much gone.
Right. The greatest generation.
Right.
But and you mentioned something, and I want to share that real quick because I have their poster in front of me. It is the 5th annual Southern Spring Thaw Poker Run. Starts over there at the VFW post on the lake. That loop it's a good time. They start there at the VFW. The first stop is at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse up in Mont Eagle. The second stop is at Red Bucks over in Huntland. Third stop is at the Harley Davidson shop over in Lynchburg. The fourth stop is Daddy Billy's over in Tullahoma, and then they come back and finish at the VFW on the lake.
Right.
That's a good ride.
And they'll have a lot of stuff that's donated for an auction. Have a little fundraiser.
Well, and it was kind of fun for Z and Newcomb to try and explain this famous cooler auction.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It's an auction. It's not a raffle.
Right.
But I guess the important thing to remember is all that money goes to people that and we support families who maybe lost their house due to a fire
and families here local.
Right. Yes.
I mean, that's the thing with these guys. The CVMA is local local veterans, local folks,
right.
And so that money's not going to Washington D.C.
exactly.
or somewhere crazy like that, and it shows that on that day you are going to have that famous cooler auction, the live and silent auction. It's going to have some door prizes, live music,
right?
And I can confirm with folks while you're here, you'll be singing karaoke that day as well,
right? Well, they'll have a DJ out there.
I said you,
but I will.
You weren't listening.
I get up there every now and then.
What's your go-to?
Charlie Daniels. South's gonna do it again. That's my. I can do a little bit of Black Crows and
really,
yeah. People actually back in the day when I was in college, people actually paid to come see a couple of performances.
Really?
Yeah, I did when I was in high school. I had to lead in Sound of Music and did a little bit of that, and that was a whole lifetime ago. And I played the guitar until Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have room for a guitar in my track.
They kind of frown upon that.
So I had one bag. I didn't even have room for a sleeping bag.
Right.
So I froze to death for 2 months.
Right.
So, it's one of those things when I got back after months, I didn't have pads on my fingers and it hurt, and I just kind of put it aside, and that's something I need to pick back up.
Right.
It was a lot of people don't even know about that part of my life.
No, that's so long. Well, and I'm trying to imagine you singing now, and I was intrigued, and then you went Sound of Music on me and kind of threw me a curveball there.
Yeah, the Edelweiss was a big thing in that, but it was that was part of that Church of Christ upbringing. Learned to sing a cappella, so I picked up how to do that in church, believe it or not.
Right.
So,
my daughters will be impressed. So,
see, they didn't even know that. So you learned something.
Yeah, that is.
But the CVMA, the neat thing about those guys, I ride with them, and I'm grounded right now. I've had surgery on both elbows and stuff, and I tried to get on my bike the other day. I made the Lynchburg and back, and that was it. But I'll be out there. That's my goal, is to be able to ride.
So you do plan to ride in this spring thaw?
I'll be there if I'm able to. I will ride that.
Nice.
I'm not sure if I'll be there or not. The nerve regeneration takes a
while.
Well,
I think Joe and Chewy will probably wind up in a station wagon.
So
there'll be room for you in the back seat
if I need to.
I know some guys.
Well, but that's an interesting question, because I get a lot of people that call and say, "Well, hey, I don't have a Harley.
Right.
I don't have an American bike. Can I ride in it?" Sure, we let anybody ride in it. We've taken pink and white 55 Victoria in that before.
Nice.
So. it's open to everybody. Right. Whatever you got, you don't have to be a veteran. You know,
and that's another thing that you mentioned too. I mean, and I'm a veteran, but I don't have a motorcycle either. I have daughters that are going to be seniors, and I have to write a check to cheer camp.
Right, you can't.
Next month.
That's a hobby that when you've got
I had to buy 2 vehicles. I got two
you got kids
16-year-olds.
that age, you can't really be out on.
But they are. But I'm glad you mentioned that because you don't have to be a veteran.
No,
come out. Like I said, Joe and Chewy, they have committed, and Newcomb was in studio,
right,
and so they know they better show up. He was awesome.
They're great guys.
And Z too. Z, I give him a hard time because his last name's Cool.
Cool.
Why in the world would you not go by something cool?
Yeah, he's Z Pro or Z Cool.
Yeah, see, they were a lot of fun to talk with and very passionate about this.
They are, and that whole group's very energetic, and it's you have a really great turnout for all the meetings and activities. They're a little bit younger subset. They're still able to ride bikes. And the neat thing, somebody I've ridden with those guys, and we've got probably 40, 50 people out there now. Yeah. And I know all of them. I ride with them. Right. But all I know is their road name. I had no idea what they're.
And you said that. It dawned on me. What is your road name?
Punisher. I'm the Punisher.
Joe Abraham. I think I heard a sigh from the Punisher. That is awesome.
So there were a lot of people that didn't even know my real name for a long time. I'm showing up out there at the V, and it was either Colonel or Punisher. Right. And
Colonel Punisher is pretty cool too.
And we're scrambling a little bit. I don't know. You knew that Heather Hamilton.
Yes.
She had that car accident in the past. But one of the stories I told, I'd been we moved back here, and I'd been going out there for 6 months or a year, and she was setting me up. She said, all I know is your name is either Punisher or Colonel. She said, what's your real name? She said, I'd like to list that on here.
Hey, but I'll tell you this.
She says, is it okay if I call you by Barry?
Well, no, I was going to say, I bet if you put a $100 bill down on the table and said, I'm Colonel, I'm Punisher, this $100 bill is yours if you guess what my real name is. I bet Barry wouldn't have come into play.
I'd have kept that money.
Right. But I think that is awesome. And we've had the guys on, and it's been really cool. We've been talking about it a lot the last week or so because they were on like back at Christmas.
Right.
And we were talking about it, and it was like, man, that's like way down the road. But now it's exciting because we're just 2 weeks away.
Right. And it's their biggest fundraiser of the year. And
right.
The other thing about that group is it's pretty nimble as far as reacting to people needing stuff, as far as helping getting stuff moved or, if their house burns down, they need furniture. Right. I mean, they pull together, and it's a really tight group.
Right. No, we enjoy talking to them. The game plan is to have them on one day next week or the week after before this thing so we can help push that through again. He's too cool to hang out in the afternoon. He's a big commenter on the morning show. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what he does in the afternoon. He doesn't, and I'm going to add him on. I'm the veteran, but he's a big weigh in on the morning show.
He said he was going to be back over.
Yeah, he is, and he's a good guy. He sends us messages and reminds us, and he weighs in from time to time. So we always enjoy getting a chance to talk to him. So, but let me take a quick break. I kind of threw you in here on a weird time. Let me get some commercials in, and then we got a bunch of stuff we want to talk about. So I'm so glad you're here. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I've got the Punisher in studio with me. Thank you, Colonel. Barry Fraley. It is the Afternoon Handoff here on ESPN Radio 1340 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
You shouldn't have to choose between quality and price. And with Flagship Lawn Services, you get both, plus the Flagship Finish Guarantee. That means every job is done right, or they'll make it right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. From weekly mowing to full spring cleanups, they've got you covered. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and get the best value for your yard this season.
With the latest from around FCHS and Rebel Nation.
The Rebel Report, every weekday presented by...
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 AM WCDT and 106.9 FM W295 AV Winchester, Southern Middle Tennessee sports leader. If it's worth talking about in Franklin County, they are on the starting lineup. Weekdays from 7 to 9 on ESPN Radio, WCDT Winchester.
You may not realize it, but where you bank matters. Citizens Tri-County Bank has been serving southern Middle Tennesseans since 1972. And while we offer all the same services as the big guys, Citizens is a community bank, meaning our decisions, big and small, are made here locally with our community in mind. So whether you need a loan for that startup or to refi, we take pride in being the only community bank you'll ever need. Citizens Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Game on, Winchester. Good Game Arcade on the Square is your go-to spot for non-stop fun. Play on custom arcade machines packed with all of the classics and latest hits. Challenge your friends on modern consoles or dive into epic board games. Need a power-up? Grab some delicious food and an ice-cold beer while you play. Whether you're an old-school Pixel Pro or a next-gen champ, Good Game Arcade is where the fun never ends. Press start and begin your adventure today at Good Game Arcade.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
Located at 108 Memorial Drive in Winchester, Oaklawn Baptist Church is a place where families grow, faith is strengthened, and students are encouraged to live with purpose, which is why we're proud to sponsor the Rebel Report. Our mission is simple: introduce people to Jesus and build strong families through God's Word. Join us this weekend for Sunday school at 10 and worship to follow at 11. Learn more online at oaklawnbaptistchurch.org.
Feeling under the weather? Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
Farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Winchester. When our local athletes give it their all, Domino's is here to refuel the team. Swing by Domino's on South College and build your own pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 each. After the game, feed the whole squad. Grab a medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, bread bites, and dips for $17.99. Or go big with 2 large pizzas and bread bites for $24.99. Quick combos, cold drinks, and deals starting at $5.99. At 668 South College Street, Domino's is proud to support our local athletes, on and off the field.
And welcome back. It is the Afternoon Handoff. Johnny Hand in studio here on ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester. Head over to that ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page. Check us out. I've got my good friend Barry Fraley in studio with me. Once again, welcome. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm good. Like I said, I'm just glad it's Friday.
I hear that. I know you've had a busy week, and we've talked about the spring thaw poker run. We've talked about the Easter egg hunt that's taking place over there at the VFW Post 1893, that beautiful little post there on the lake. What else you got going on?
Well, we're already planning our 4th of July fireworks show. We're going to do it on the 4th this year on that Saturday. So that's a good little show.
And this is year 250.
Right.
So what's got going on special?
Well, there are a lot of things cooking with the city and the county. So they're putting together, working on a parade and Veterans Parade and stuff. And I'm not sure if it's going to be then or Veterans Day, but they're actually going to throw on a big.
That's what I heard.
So that's in the planning stages. They and we were talking about the World War II vets disappearing. I think. The word off the street is they've got an honor flight May the 6th, and that'll probably be one of the last ones.
Wow.
Going up for a while. So,
and I hadn't thought about that in a while, but you're probably right. I mean, that's who they take.
They're going to start taking Vietnam veterans and things later on. But I know for a while, and I think that that funding's just cut into everything, and it's a sign of the times.
Right, and that's a shame because that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and CVMA we'll probably escort that bus up to the airport and stuff. So we're that's the next big thing we got coming up right after that poker run.
Wow. And
then we're working on some stuff in the community, and one thing I want to talk about, Ray Cobb and some of my other friends here, he's going to put on a big veterans disability workshop here in September, 21st September, and bring some heavy hitters in from around the country to talk about VA programs and claims, and probably focus a little bit more on PTSD and things like that. And we're trying to get community groups going for more resources here, especially in light of that McMinnville VA clinic closing, which is what one thing I wanted to talk about today.
Right.
So,
and that's one of the things when I ran into you last weekend that you did mention. I know that's something that's important. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we got a notice just a few weeks ago that the VA clinic in McMinnville was going to close the doors on the 31st of May this year. It was a surprise to most people. Congressman Desjardins was unaware of it. Any of the congressional caucus from Tennessee or senators or anybody. But, they had a town hall meeting up there last Friday. So I went to the meeting just to kind of see what was going on because, everybody I talked to had more questions than answers. And that's my primary. That's the clinic that I use for my primary care. Yeah, I always went to McMinnville. Telahoma had been full. They have one in Telahoma, but I couldn't get into it. So, the VA healthcare has been a topic that's been on the news lately. They got a new VA secretary, and they're trying to clean things up. But that was a contract-run clinic, and they've got 6 of those in Tennessee. They've got Chattanooga, Cookeville, McMinnville, I think Jackson, and maybe Dover or Clarksville. So, there's several of those where they passed the Mission Act in 2018, which went into effect in 2019 to expand accessibility for veterans that needed health care. So when they did that, all the clinics, when you go, you get a little survey you fill out. I think 1 to 5, how was the staff? Were they courteous? Well, that come to find out at that meeting we went to, that particular clinic had not been receiving favorable marks. So they had a rating of like 79% on the trust score that the VA uses. They've got a little trust system. And anytime they get below 95, they feel like they're not providing quality
so 79
care.
Is
so
really
79, bad. And then on top of that, since they've got all these other clinics, that brought their state average down to like 92, which is below standard. So that put them under the microscope from VA. So they had to do something. So there was not anything that the congressman or anybody else could have done to prevent that clinic from closing.
But I know they got kind of caught with their pants down.
They did.
And it's important, and you said that folks know. They weren't aware of that.
No.
Because I know some of them, I've seen some of the ugly comments.
Oh, yeah.
They got absolutely hammered on that.
And he had some representatives there, but there was nothing that he could have done, to prevent that clinic from closing. It was a contractor VA issue, and it just happened. So, the eventual plan that they are going to look at, the growth areas are Cookeville and Tullahoma in this district that they cover. So the plan is to put a clinic probably around Manchester in 2027.
That'd be good.
However, they got to find space and work some stuff out. So, there were almost 1,900 veterans that were served by that clinic.
Wow.
And a lot from Grundy County, Franklin County, Coffee County,
wow.
Warren County. And then, so they're going to split them up between Cookeville and well, they're going to ask you. And they called me and said, where do you want to go? I said, well, I want to go to Tullahoma. It's closer.
Right.
And so they're going to have to staff up to cover that.
Gotcha. And it's important people understand that they know that. And that's something that they're willing to do and that they're in the process.
They're in the process of doing it. Wheels turn slow.
Right.
So
the wheels turn slow in government.
But so they're going to depend a lot on community care.
Right.
And that's important for people to know, because if you do have something where you really need to get in to see somebody, you can go to, if you got a VA card, you can go. I mean, if you think you're having a heart attack or something, you go straight to the emergency room, and they'll take care of you. Or we've got this urgent care clinic up here next door to Bennett's.
Well, now Fast Pace is involved in that as well.
So you can go to one of those 3 times a year, and now you start going 4 or 5 times. They start, you got to do a little paperwork, but
But you're talking about Complete Express Care is who you're talking about.
Right.
But Complete Express Care and Fast Pace, they do offer coverage to the VA.
Right. And you can go to any emergency room if it's emergency.
Right.
Don't go if it's, hangnail or something. But, it's going to fall really until they get the transition complete.
Right.
The burden of that clinic, you're either going to have to go to Murfreesboro or depend on community care and call the VA and try to get that processed, which is, that's okay. But, as in rural areas, the healthcare providers since COVID have decreased significantly. So, it's already a burden system for everybody else, and then you're going to throw another 1,900 people into the system in this area.
That are typically older folks with medical needs.
Right. I mean, most of those people going up there had an issue, and that's why they were going there.
Wow.
So it's an impact to the area.
Right. And so do you think, you mentioned the Manchester in 2027 next year, is that feasible?
Well,
is that realistic?
I spoke to the director after the town hall because that's the first time in a while I've been in a room with 300 hacked off people, and everybody was mad. They wanted the clinic's not going to reopen; it's gone.
Right. So there's no chance of that.
And a lot of people, that's what they wanted, but that's not going to happen. But if they can find an existing facility, in Tullahoma or Manchester, it'll probably happen in 2027. Now, if they can't find something that's suitable, and they'll have to build something, and it takes a little bit longer, and get budget, and
so that's interesting that you say that. So they've named Manchester, but they haven't. They really don't have an actual facility.
Well, they kind of did a demographic study. I mean, there's some science behind it, and the growth areas in their region are Cookeville and Tullahoma, or Tullahoma area, Tullahoma, Manchester. So that's where they decided to place a new clinic.
Because I would imagine with Space Force and all that moving to Huntsville, that it's going to ramp up a lot of activity there in Manchester at our own Air Force Base. And
probably will. Yeah, I expect that. And they've got the clinic on the base, but it's pretty small right now. But it's just a matter of them getting a facility. I mean, that's the plan.
Right.
We'll see how well they can execute it. The devil's in the details. But
always
they are. Yeah, they're thinking ahead on it. But for a few months, you're gonna have to fall back on community care.
Right.
And that's just kind of how it is. A lot of people are upset, but it's a numbers game, and they had the metrics to show that they weren't getting the performance. They had veterans. They said the average person had been going to that clinic to see 12 different doctors.
Wow.
And some of them had seen as many as 20, so they had a big turnover at that clinic.
And so that's the negative side. The obvious negative is they've closed it down, but
On the 31st of May.
Yeah,
It's close.
but looking at it, if the care and the quality wasn't there, they probably maybe needed to be.
Right. That's
tough
their
to say.
Yeah, that's their. If it's not providing their standard of care, they had to look at it really hard.
Because I'd rather, as a veteran, have them look at some hard options and figure out how to improve the quality of the care than just keep status quo because it's easier.
Right.
And so, but that is still tough.
And it was a contractor-run clinic, so
Right.
you can't control the contractor.
Right.
You can award it, but you can't
Right.
control what they pay or anything. And
Right.
you know, I feel for Amy Dennis and Brian. They were at that meeting, but you know, there was nothing that
Right.
congressmen or senators or anybody could have really done to change
Right.
you know, when you got hard empirical data there to back up, you know, what's going on.
And you know, and that stuff, when they start talking about data, it's black and white.
Right.
You know, they don't traipse around in the gray area.
So I you know, looking back at that now and talking to some of the personnel up there, as soon as they started building metrics after that Mission Act went into effect in
Right.
2019, it was probably circling the drain, you know, at that point.
Right.
And so it's probably been on the chopping block for 3 or 4 years. So
Right.
it doesn't help us any, but
No.
you know, it is what it is.
Right. And, well, goodness. Well, what else is going on with you?
Well, you know, that gets us through the next few months, everything we got happening. You know, they're still taking, I think you had Sin on here. They're still taking orders for their flags and crosses through the end of this month.
Right. Yeah, she's watching. She's seeing which one of us messes up first.
Oh, really? I better be on my toes. So I think they've got 1,050 crosses.
That's what she was saying, yeah.
Putting out this year, and they got a few more orders still coming in. But that's just a great program.
That's awesome.
You know, just come in and see that when you come into town.
I embarrass Mr. Isbell every time I see him because it doesn't matter if it's February or if it's, you know, September. There's nothing. It's not Labor Day. It's not Veterans Day. It's not Memorial Day. And it's just a random Thursday, and I'll run into him at a ball game, and it's like, man, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just, okay. But that's amazing.
Yeah, it is to have that many flags. And, you know, I've been to 2 or 3 other communities that do that.
Right.
In Georgia, and just traveling Dahlonega down through that way. And they've got something similar, but, man, they don't look anything like ours.
No.
I mean, he really went overboard with that and did a good job with it.
Well, and the organization behind it, you know, it's in alphabetical order, of course, but they rotate, you know, where they're at all the time. And so, you know, if it's your grandfather or something, he doesn't get stuck having to look at Doug Garrett over at Russell Barnett Chevrolet twice a year.
Every time.
Yeah. Which is really, that's part of the that's part of the experience and to me, I love that because it makes it fresh every time they put them up, because and they do a great job of telling you in alphabetical order where everything is, but part of that is finding that person again, and it's a fresh opportunity to remember and to think about them and honor them. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It's something unique to this area, really anywhere in the state. You know, when you come in from Tullahoma or come in from Cowan, you can see them as soon as you come down through there.
It's awesome. That's my 2 favorite times of the year, because and you touched on it. It's not halfway done. I mean, the flags are good size. You've got the name plates. I mean, it's not it'd be impressive if it was those little bitty flags and it just each one represented somebody. But going that extra mile and adding the names and the size of the flags and the scope of it, and that just makes it even more special because it takes up a lot of space.
It does.
I mean, you don't just drive from Food City to Russell Barnett Chevrolet and then it's over.
No,
I mean,
you go up by the high school on the bypass and go through town around the circle. And,
you go through Walmart. I mean, they're all over the place. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we're going to have to start probably looking for some more places to keep putting them. You know? And then we have to worry about the mowers and stuff in the spring.
I think that's already a problem. The way I understand it.
Yeah,
I think that's his biggest pet peeve.
He's had to replace a few this year that
he has
chopped up by weed eaters.
That's what he said. Well, you mentioned something a bit earlier, and I know there's not a detail on when, but there are talks going on with Ray Cobb and some guys about the Veterans Parade.
Right. And I think Sin's probably the good one to ask about that. She's probably been the latest in that. And,
Right.
you know, they started that, and I'll be honest with you, I unplugged a bit because my mom was ill and
Right.
it passed, and
Right.
I kind of unplugged from all that a little bit, trying to get back into
Right.
it. So, but, you know, they want to do something big on the 250th and a lot of things
Right.
going on in the state.
Well,
So,
and talking about your mom, amazing lady, and I know that had to be. I mean, obviously great loss, but man, the community love that poured out for her. She touched a lot of lives, and so I'm glad to hear that you're plugging back in, because you'd be in trouble if you didn't. You know, that's exactly what the things that you're involved in. A lot of that comes back to her and your dad.
It does. It does.
You know, they planted those seeds, and you've run with it, and so you honor her big time and plugging back in and continuing on. You know, she'd want that, and she was amazing.
Yeah, and, you know, she had me do her eulogy and stuff at the funeral, which is one of the harder things I've ever, you know, my dad passed in 2016.
Right.
And when we were sitting there, she told, she was writing stuff down, said, Barry's going to do the eulogy. And
Right.
you know, I looked at her like she just landed off a spaceship from Mars or something. But I think, you know, in her infinite wisdom, she knew what good it would do me to be able to do that. And so I didn't even have to ask. But I had not looked forward to that day for that past 10 years, because I knew that, you know, it's going to fall on me to do that. But we got through it, and we did I think we did a really good celebration on I-4. And she, you know, I had 3 folders laid out that she had put who all she wanted to speak and what some people were supposed to wear. And, you know, can you imagine that?
Oh, no, my mother and father-in-law live next door, and each of them have an envelope, and I'm preaching the service. I was singing all the songs, but now my daughters apparently are better than me, and so I don't think I'm singing anymore. But they have, every once in a while, a verse will speak to her, and she'll take out that
take notes,
and she'll scribble out that one verse and add in this new verse. And so I know that I go to drawer 3, and everything's ready to go. She probably got my clothes laid out in there too.
Well, you know, but what a blessing that was. After she was gone,
because you didn't have to think about that stuff, and you honored her exactly the way that she wanted.
The way she wanted.
And so I know that was a blessing for her, but it had to be a blessing for you as well. And I know that stuff. And I sang it at my mom's service, and it was the hardest good thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good way to describe it.
It means a lot to me, and I remember that. And I tell my daughters all the time, you know, when you do those things, there are few things that are a bigger privilege than being asked to speak or to sing at anyone's service.
Right.
But the beautiful thing is they're not allowed to boo you.
Well,
so there's no pressure.
It's all anything thrown at you.
It's all love. So, but no, but I'm glad you mentioned her, because she's a big part of why you do a lot of the things that you do. And so,
well, it really is. I mean, my parents made me the person the person I am today.
Well, we can't blame them for everything.
No, not everything, but you know, and I still don't think I grew up till I made that first trip to the sandbox.
Right.
And you know, it took care. But yeah, they were. You know, it's nice to have such great parents, and I was blessed to have had mom's, dad, and especially mom that long.
Right.
And you know, I miss her. And
right. Well, she was a fixture, and her absence is felt at this stuff. But
I mean, I'm still getting cards. I'm still
I can believe
getting
that.
contributions. You know, we got a little scholarship fund set up, and
awesome.
You know, so hopefully nobody will forget about them, because they had quite an impact.
No, I don't think that's possible. She gave birth to the Punisher. That's awesome. I wrote that down. I'm going to have to remember that. But I am glad you know that's I know service to your dad and to your mom with the community service was a big deal, and so you had to do it whether you liked it or not.
Well, and you know, and there are a lot of people after Dad passed and after she passed that they had helped that I didn't even know about. You know, and just like during COVID, I didn't know how many people that she cooked meals for when someone passed till I had to did all of her grocery shopping for her. You know, and I was buying 2 or 3 pork butts a week. She's cooking up beans and greens and pork butts and taking, you know, cornbread, taking them to the house, and you know, she just did a lot.
But that's how you show love in the South,
right?
And so she loved well.
I mean, she had her own parking spot up there at the funeral home.
Yeah. That's right.
You know,
what they were afraid of her.
Well, it might have been.
And see, and usually it's the other way around. I try to talk nice to Bob every time I run into him anywhere.
Yeah.
But we'll get deal. But don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We'll be finishing up. We'll be moving into the final half hour here of the Friday edition, the Afternoon Handoff, ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9, WCDT, Winchester.
After our very sunny afternoon, we are cooling down to around 42 degrees tonight, with it being partly cloudy and some northwest winds coming in. Tomorrow morning is going to be about the same, in the mid to high 50s and a slight breeze. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069 for all of your wonderful weather updates.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Feeling under the weather? Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware, LLC, located on 1991 Chart Springs Road in Winchester, is the place to go for all your electrical, hardware, and outdoor needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Do you know what you're looking for and want to know if the store has it? You can contact them at 931-967-7351 to get in touch with someone that can help. That's over on Chart Springs Road in Winchester at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware, LLC.
Why choose Moore Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. Moore Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. Moore Courtney Funeral Home.
Farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top-quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Tune in weekday mornings from 7 to 9 with Joe Abraham and Chewy on the starting lineup. Real talk, real sports, WCDT Winchester.
And welcome back. It is the Afternoon Handoff. Johnny Hand in studio. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester. Head over to that ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page and check us out. In studio with me, Commander Barry Fraley from the VFW Post over there sitting in with me, talking about all kinds of veteran-related events. And a big reminder, again, because it is next Saturday, going to have the big Easter egg hunt over there at the VFW post. And that's that pretty post. Where do you hide eggs at over there on the lake?
We've got that big place in the back between the VFW building, the porch, and the lake there. And we use that. It's a pretty good-sized little field there. And that's usually, we do everything out there. If we do 4th of July thing, we have a couple of bouncy houses and set up little booths for the kids and shoot our fireworks down there. So it's a beautiful setting, though.
It is. I've actually, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I've actually officiated and DJ 2 weddings there.
Well, I know they've had some. You'd be surprised how many people do that. And it's, we're open for whatever, we do like I mentioned, we have a couple of dinners there a couple times a year for the ARC and other organizations. DAV meets out there, the CVMA meets out there,
and you guys, after the Veterans Day program for the county every year, you provide a free meal for all the veterans too.
We provide a meal out there. We had a big picnic out there after the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall was here.
That's right.
So we try to make it a little bit more family-friendly atmosphere. It kind of had a rough reputation, I guess 20 years ago or so. Right. And once when COVID came in, we had to shut down, and so we redid the inside, made it non-smoking, got rid of all that, and cleaned it up. And it's my grandkids actually say, "Hey, we're going to go out to the V." They actually like going out there and running around playing.
Right.
And,
well, I'm not kidding. I think we're coming tomorrow night. So what I got to order to eat now? What's the go-to?
Well, they got that VFW burger that's pretty good. It's got onion rings and things on it. It's good. They've got an Italian sub that's good. They'll probably have a special.
Right.
We changed up since I mentioned Heather had passed, so we kind of had to scramble a little bit to figure out a game plan, and so we got people helping come in there to cook and run the kitchen, and that's another thing. We try to take care of everybody. Her son actually cooked for us.
Really, I didn't know
out there. 17-year-old kid. He cooked for us part time. Pretty good kid. And that was just a bad situation. His dad had already passed, and then Heather died in that accident. So he basically 17-year-old orphan. I hate to say it. So we're watching out for him. We're getting him through high school. And
he's got a lot of big uncles.
The CVMA and VFW, we're working. We're going. He wants to go, to welding school at TCAT. So,
nice.
That's one of the things fun. We're going to take care of him, make sure he's. We got a lot of people we're looking out after.
Right.
I mean, because he's part of our family, even though he's not a veteran. He works out there. And,
are y'all going to encourage him to enlist?
Well, we've talked about that. The thing is, it's only been, she passed 2 days after my mom passed. So it's all at the same time. And, we're talking to him. It's soon. He's 17 years old. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. And, we're going to talk about that because he can get some good skills in some of the services. And you can get school paid for.
Right.
And, I've got a couple of other kids we talked to, and the thing is, they're good. It's a smart decision, I think. Now, the thing is, it's tough. It's not always going to be fun.
Not for everybody.
I mean, in the Air Force, it was probably a lot better career field. Like me, about the only thing I can do is throw a hand grenade for anybody else on the block.
Yeah, I tell everybody, I get mad. I hate to go to Billy Harris. Billy Harris is sheriff deputy.
Yeah,
I love Billy. His son Tucker and my daughters have been in school together since kindergarten, and love that family, all of them. But I hate Veterans Day programs with them because we always go to Cowan every year.
Oh yeah,
and then every kid, if you're talking to a second grader, third grader, they want to hear about your gun.
Oh really?
And he had one. He was an Army guy. Yeah. And I have to explain how the Air Force is a little bit different. I never had a gun, but some of those, like explain to people, especially the Navy and the Air Force, there's a lot of different career fields that you can go into. If you don't want to carry a rifle, you don't have to. You get a lot of benefits, but it's going to be tough. Right.
Whatever you go into, it's going to be tough. But
and it's hard to explain boot camp to somebody that hasn't been through it.
That's right.
Because everybody that hadn't been through it tells you how they would have handled it. And nobody gonna talk to me like that.
Oh yeah, I almost went, but I decided, you get a lot of that. But
right, and we're having it. It's fun because my daughters, they're juniors. They're finishing up their high school junior year, and they did the ASVAB in that couple months ago, and so Jenna did really, really well. Well, now the Marines and all these guys, I mean, she's getting mail every week, and they're calling her cell phone and all this stuff, and so my wife's getting a little bit nervous, but Jenna doesn't follow orders very well. She's a 16-year-old girl, so I don't think that not in her near future. I know she wants to go. We're visiting some colleges next week, and I know she's looking at that. But it's been fun to have those conversations because I was that kid at one point, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made. But it's not for everybody.
It's not.
But it is a great thing for somebody's.
Oh yeah, you go in and you can get your education paid for and be debt free with it.
Find your people.
And, right, exactly. And have a skill when you get out of that. That's a marketable skill. But I don't encourage people. I tell them about, I talk to them about it, but it's got to be their decision because I mean it's for me it was the best of times and the worst of times. It's just hard to explain. I'd do it again.
Right.
If I'd known up front what everything I was going to have to do, I don't know if I would have done it. Just
I understand. But it was, and I'm laughing because Jenna's going. The Marines are just they are wearing her out, and I was laughing because when I went in, it was a different time. It was peacetime. I went in '86. Don't do the math. But it was funny. The Marines, the Navy, the Army, they were just calling me every day. And my uncle had just joined the Air Force, literally like the year and a half before. And I called the recruiter, and I was like, what the heck? And he said, well, we've got like 5 people for every opening that we have. We'd like to have you, but we don't need you. And I said, well, my God, you taking me? And so my ego got me into
that was a sign of that times, though. That was the economy had been a little tough, and people were going in, and everybody was full. They had a waiting list at the National Guard recruit, trying to get people in. And Reagan was president, and patriotism was high, but the economy had been bad.
I remember. So I had played some minor league baseball, and so I thought I was going to be a superstar baseball player, but only took about 7 weeks to figure out that I wasn't very good.
Well,
I was a good high school player, but
you got to be that upper 0.5% of.
Yeah, the Orioles. I never got out of Bluefield, West Virginia.
Oh, really?
I was the Bluefield Oriole, and that was
But you can figure out pretty quick what's going to pay the bills. That's something to think about.
Pitching and second base wasn't paying the electric bill, and they weren't too upset when I enlisted. Still hurts my feelings a little bit, but it was a good decision, and I've had the opportunity over the years to talk to some young folks, and kind of like you said, it's one of those things that it's really weird. You don't push it, but if they're interested and they talk, I love talking with them about because there are some misconceptions about what service looks like.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
especially, and you're going to give me a hard time. Sin always does. We go back and forth, and you're supposed to give each other a hard time in different branches. But she said, the Air Force, I mean, I was an aircraft electrician, and I worked on airplanes 7:15 a.m. to 3:15 p.m.,
like a regular
Tuesday
job.
through Saturday. And, and that was, I didn't know that. Now, what I didn't know is I did, and my ego got in the way again. You can appreciate this. I thought being an electrician would be fun. I was terrible at it. I might have been. I have the scars to prove. I might have been the worst aircraft electrician in the history of the United States Air Force. But back then, it was that like we talked about. That it was so many folks trying to get in. There was no cross training opportunities.
Right.
And so I did my 4, and I said I got to get out. I may not live through the next 4. But I also, and that was another thing when I talked to folks. I got into music, and so the Air Force had a talent team, and so I traveled 6 months out of the year, and sang a bunch of New Kids on the Block songs and some Bobby Brown and some of that cool stuff that makes my wife not appreciate my veteran status very much. But there are all kinds of
There are.
of
I mean, I've
opportunities
got
with
3 or
it.
4 friends I went to high school with, and they got in the National Guard band and made a career
Right.
out of it. Played instruments in the band, got to go on great trips. Go
Right.
to D.C., Hawaii.
We did 6 shows a week, 6 months out of the year. It was awesome.
There's a need for that.
Right.
So, if you got the talent and you want to do it, you can find a job that's.
Well, and the uncle that I was talking about, he actually did 22 and retired. And by the time he was little, he was fascinated with tractors and trailers. And so he joined the Air Force to drive tractors and trailers.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He spent 22 years. Of course, after about 6 years, he got moved up in the ranks, and then he was just sitting in an office and telling people where to drive tractors and trailers.
They wouldn't let you do stuff.
But that was that was something that and we have people. I know some folks that go into administration and they do paperwork and they sit at desk and wear those pretty dress blues and they spend 20, 25 years and they retire. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for folks. It's not for everybody, but for certain people, it is an absolute great opportunity. Well, what else are we going to cover? You brought all your notes in. You came in here all organized. Sin would be impressed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she accuses me of flying by the seat of my pants.
Don't tell her that. She'll expect something next time. I had a lot of notes from that meeting at that town hall last week, but I kind of gave you the rundown. They just couldn't staff that, so they ended up.
And to be clear, like you said, it's closing. There's no
31st of May. It's
31st of May. There is no further discussion. There's nothing else going on.
I mean, I've got 2 or 3 appointments coming up there, and they're serving. Right up to that day, they're still doing things.
That's good.
And I've got to go to, there's some things I can't do. I've got to go to Mercersburg and have an X-ray and some things. I can't seem to ever get off the bubble for something going on. So.
Well, we got to get you healthy because Z doesn't want to let you ride on the back of his motorcycle.
No, he probably doesn't. He's been on me about not doing anything, but I just had to lay off for a while. He can't rebound as quick as I used to. But it's been a while. I've had like 7 surgeries last year, so I just been down. So
you're supposed to be new and improved.
Well,
the Punisher's back.
The bionic. $6 million man, I'm probably about in 10 or 12 million right there.
Well, then you ought to be twice as good.
So I'm getting there. I just got a couple more things. But if I get tuned up now, a little bit older, I'll still be able to get around.
Right.
I don't want to wait until I get so bad to take care of stuff. So, a lot of people are like, man, what, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. It's just stuff I need to do and take care of. So I don't.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, too, because a lot of folks, there's a common misconception about the VA care. You don't have to be on your deathbed to get care.
No, absolutely.
I mean, the stuff you're talking about is, you're doing some preventive maintenance and some of those things. I mean, they are out there to help and to serve you before you get to the critical stage.
And I will say I've never gotten less than just exceptional treatment when I've been in one of their facilities. Even the one in McMinnville, I know they had some complaints, but, I mean, they were always very courteous and kind. I know a couple times I was late getting up there. It's an hour drive.
Right.
Something's going on. They said, oh, don't worry, said, just come on in. You might have to wait, 15 minutes because you weren't here, but, they take care of it. And, they call you back and check on you. And
a lot of that's not the reputation that they have.
No, it's not.
Unfortunately.
But when I've actually been to facilities, everybody's been very professional, and they really are very courteous, and they treat you very well. And most of them are there because they want to help veterans.
Right.
And so, you can't take the VA administration red tape and thing out on the providers because they're doing the best that they can.
And the truth is they're not. That's if you are a doctor, you're not getting richer by being in the VA.
Exactly.
Pipeline. You're actually probably the opposite.
I mean, if you can do that, you're going to get an okay. You're going to be comfortable.
Right.
And get an okay retirement,
and
but you're not making what you could make somewhere else.
That's right.
A few of them did that and then came into the VA to end their career and to do that, and then some of them leave and go off. But I just want to say that we slam the VA a lot. Everybody talks bad about them, but when it comes down to the individuals doing it, they've always, in my experience, have always been very accommodating.
Well, and I was that's what I was getting from you, and and it's important that folks realize that, because if you don't go through that experience, the impression out in the civilian world is that that's subpar care, and they don't take good care of our veterans. They throw a little Tylenol in them and send them to the house.
Well, and that's true, and it could have been the case 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
I don't know, but that was one of the big complaints at the town hall meeting. I can't even get one syllable word there. Was that staff was always just wonderful,
right?
Right. And those are contractors, so those people are out of a job, so
right.
it affects them too.
Right.
So it's just kind of a soup sandwich all the way around. It's a bad situation and something that's happening in this community. But rural areas have problems just in the general medical system. We just don't have the providers we need, and now we're going to place that on the overburdened system.
Right.
And you're just going to have to deal with it. I don't know what else to say.
So I'm going to switch gears on you.
Okay.
Because it is the 250th birthday of America coming up July 4th. So that's a Saturday.
Right.
The VFW is doing their 4th of July thing on the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July.
None of this 3rd of July, 5th of July, any of that kind of stuff.
That's right. And
what are you looking most forward to on the Saturday that you guys are going to be doing over there on the lake?
Well, we cook. We'll get pork butts and chicken, and we'll have the grill going early that morning or that night, or the smoker going that night before, and we'll have pork plates and pork butts if we have any left, and chicken and bouncy houses and all kind of booths set up for the kids. We'll have a DJ out there and a live band, or I think we actually got a live band.
Right. Yeah, it's it. Yeah.
So it's a big time,
Extra big on the fireworks display.
Yeah, and I'm working through that right now. The tariffs have kind of affected. We were able to get around. We substituted some things last year, so we're going to put on. We'll put on a 30-minute show.
Right.
We're having to substitute and work around. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more of a challenge.
Right.
But we're already raising money for that, and so we're getting ready for it, and it's a big time. Kids love it. They'll do face painting and different things. CVMA guys, they'll be out there set up. And
let me ask you: is logistically, is it better, do you think, or is it more challenging when it falls on a Saturday?
Well, we usually do it on a Saturday.
Do you?
But usually the 4th might be Friday or Sunday. So we do it on Saturday anyway.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we've always done it on the Saturday closest. So,
interesting. Well,
it's a nightmare anyway when you get that many folks and that much food. But we enjoy it. It's all hands on deck, and we get out there and knock it out.
Yeah, and it's extra special. 250 is, which is really weird. I had this conversation with my girls, and I'm blessed. I told you my mother and father-in-law live next door. My father-in-law is a huge history buff.
Oh, yeah.
And so my wife, very big, but it really skipped that generation, and my girls are big history.
Oh,
people.
really?
So we were talking about one of our favorite trips. We did Pearl Harbor a couple years ago, which is we were talking about it's complicated.
Yeah.
Because you're not happy that you're at Pearl Harbor and you're not celebrating, but I mean it was very special and something we'll never forget. But we were talking about 250, and then when you say 250 first, it's like, man, that's a lot. And then you get to thinking 250 years for a country.
In the context of world history is not very long.
No, and so we were talking, and then my Facebook memory hit. They got their first cell phones when COVID hit, and 6 years ago. And it was this morning. So the video comes, and they're crying, they're 10, And so I had to share it with them because it embarrasses them. But then they were thinking, gosh, look how far society has come. But really, 250 years is. And we were talking about, of all people, George Washington, and they were like, well, what would George Washington think if he walked into Walmart today,
or saw somebody talking into a cell phone?
Talking about the cell phones and those kind of things, and the better dental products,
right?
But it's just amazing.
Wooden teeth.
It's amazing. I mean, 250 is a big number, but it's in the overall scheme of things, it's not
big for us. But,
right.
Most of the you go to Europe, most of the buildings are older than that are still.
Absolutely. And so it's good. So 250, it's exciting though. It's a nice big round number.
And I remember the 200s,
right.
when they had, so.
Yeah, we had that conversation too because I'm an old dad.
Yeah.
So I think I was in the 3rd grade.
Well, this will probably be it though. I won't be around for the 300.
Yeah,
so
you're the Punisher. you got to stick around for 50 more. They said you were singing. you're sitting in with the live band. You have committed to that right here today.
Maybe I can do a hologram by then.
Hey, we'll probably be a lot cooler. I know I'll be thinner. But that is awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming by again.
Well, I'm glad you're hosting, because to me it's all about veterans and supporting veterans, and we try to get the word out on everything, and there's just a lot going on.
Right. Well, and it's an exciting time of the year. This the Spring Thaw Poker Run, it's the fifth annual one.
Right.
So in talking with those guys, I know it's gotten bigger.
It has.
Bigger every year. And how many folks you think you'll have in?
I'd say there'll be a couple hundred bikes.
Really?
Yeah, we had probably 150 or more last year.
Wow. So there'll be 200 motorcycles, and then Joe and Chewy and a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah, whatever color that thing is.
I'm going to get him a Volkswagen van.
Get them one of those chartreuse microbuses.
That's all. And we're going to put them right in the middle of the motorcycles, too. I'm going to have Nukem on the front. They'll probably, if they show up in a chartreuse bus, the microbus, they'll need Nukem.
They'll need some help.
They'll need a little bit. They'll need some security.
But, yeah, there'll be people show up in lifted trucks and everything.
Really?
Else.
So I'm glad you said it. So I want people to know, if they show up to ride in a nice Camaro or a nice truck or something, they're not going to be the only person that's riding this thing.
And they'll spread out. We don't do an organized run for one stop. We just let everybody cover all the stops and then come back there at the end, so we don't have you imagine 200 bikes trying to get through anywhere.
Coming by Georgia Crossing
would be an issue. So
making fun of me because my wife's mowing.
Well, you wouldn't be able to outlive that.
That'd be bad. I don't know if I could handle Nukem looking at me with disgust. But two reasons I wanted you to say that again. One, because folks listening, and as we post this and as it gets closer, that's not uncommon. So come out. It's about the cause. It's not about what you're riding on. And then the second thing is because that also eliminates, and the Punisher said so that eliminates any excuses for Joe and Chewy.
Right.
For not coming because they don't have a motorcycle.
That's right.
Because they were the original, and here's the thing, and you probably, the Punisher will look down his nose and discuss it. They were going to ride scooters.
Oh, no, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's a long trip that's a long ride on scooters.
And so
35, 40 miles. They wouldn't be back in time for the
going up the
mountain.
We'll bring you a card.
Yeah, they need to get something.
You stop at Linda's Market, and we'll bring you some cards. So, but that's I just wanted to make sure that we eliminated all their excuses, and it's a great deal. It's $20 per rider, $10 for your passenger. It says here you guys are going to have breakfast. You talked about is it breakfast burrito? That's the
I think we'll do something simple. But if you show up that morning, you can grab something to eat before you get on the road.
And that's going to start. It says about 8:00, and then they'll start registering at 9. The first bike leaves out at 10, and the last bike is in by 2:00.
Right.
And so y'all are challenging folks. You did all that in military time too.
Did they do that?
It's 1,000 hours and then 1,400 hours.
Yeah, so I guess you might have marked. We might have marked.
No, heck with them. If they're gonna ride with us, they need to learn how to tell time.
But Black Rifle Coffee and they'd always donate great door prizes, and we'll have the cooler auction, and who knows what'll show up to be auctioned off. We usually get some nice. They'd have some nice items.
Right.
I hadn't seen what they what they build up. It's always worth it.
Right. And the 5th annual.
Great cause. Right.
And it is the CVMA, and again, you said these are the 1811, the Whiskey Runners, Saturday, April 18th. The money stays here.
Right.
This is all proceeds support local veterans in need, and then again, and I think this is awesome. Next Saturday, noon and 2. You have 2 different egg hunts out there at the VFW. At noon, special needs and their caregivers and their assistants. noon o'clock,
right.
just for them.
Right, just for them.
And then at 2 o'clock, it's all the little whirlwinds come in and
up to age 12, and we'll have hot dogs and we'll feed the kids.
And Newcomb will be there checking IDs.
Newcomb's, we need somebody.
So
we need him. We need to keep him occupied doing something. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Please do. He makes me nervous.
We'll get his wife out there with him. She usually can keep him in.
Well, and it's funny you said that because while he was there on the show, anytime she came up, he got in control.
Oh, yeah.
He is well trained.
He got a chill that went down his back.
But looking forward to that. So that is next Saturday, the Big Egg Hunt. And then 2 weeks from then, it'll be Saturday, April 18th, the 5th Annual Southern Springthaw Poker Run. And then make your plans. Saturday, July the 4th,
right.
Big 250th birthday of America. And on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Are you going to be in the bounce house?
I usually am down there trying to see what fireworks didn't go off or like.
You're in charge of the fireworks.
I'm not in charge of them.
You're the Punisher.
Yeah, but I'm.
Come
you know,
on, Colonel.
I'm not running. You know, I guess I'm responsible. I'm not.
You're there for the Boston butt.
But we do get down. I do help them set up all that stuff and
awesome.
Work that. We'll have to go pick those fireworks up, and we usually use my truck and trailer and get all that. So and they'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah, no, it's coming. They, my daughters are having their last high school cheer tryout today, and so this year's flying by.
Yeah.
It's gonna be they're on spring break next week here at Franklin County, and then they come back, and then it's time to graduate, and not ready, but
no, it happens though.
But thank you so much for stopping by today.
Well, I appreciate you letting me talk about that stuff.
Absolutely.
It's just, like I said, for good community and veterans. That's what it's all about.
Well,
so.
And that stuff matters. And thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for all that you do. Keep us posted. We've been pushing this for months. Anything we can do to help spread the message. Of course, we're here. And we like to talk. So
well, we've got some more things cooking coming up. A little bit out, out in the future. But
when you get ready, yell at me.
Okay,
and come on.
I'd
rather have you on here than Sin. She talks too much. I only say that because I know she's watching. But now I'm in trouble. I'm afraid to sign off. But thank you so much for being here with us. This has been the Friday edition, the Afternoon Handoff. Tune in Monday morning, 7 to 9. Starting lineup, Joe Abraham. Chewy will be in studio. This has been the Afternoon Handoff on ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT, Winchester.
Watson Funeral Home and Memorial Park is in charge of the arrangements for